morning and welcome back to Bears and Bulls, and I am Zara Jane Wan, your host. And with me is, of course, my friend Aloysius Meñez. Okay, you were mentioning something about economy. Now, most of our corporations now are into the usual, well, let's say the food processing. That's a very lucrative business. And how do you address this, considering that you are promoting organic farming, but the major source of food and the food distribution is not into that? So how do you address
the rising awareness of consumers worldwide is such that they are shunning away from processed food, from unhealthy food, and hankering for healthy food. And the multinational corporations, those that produce this originally so processed, so toxic food, are now catering to this need because the market is there. So you know these corporations, they now have healthy food.
yes.
But of course it's not really healthy because it's still loaded with a lot of toxin there. Whatever they put in and going through certain processes may not really be healthy. So as these multinational, these giants break down, the inevitable is there that they will become thing of the past. There will be now pockets of self-sustaining economies in the regions all over the world.
Are corporations that are into this environmental concern, particularly if I can mention SM, which I admire because every Wednesday they will require you to make use of your paper bag. Your cloth bag, that paper bag, the cloth bag. So if you don't have your cloth bag, you will be charged for the plastic. This is very good because we cannot really actually demand people to change the lifestyle, but there is a way to impose. And SM was able to have this initiative of imposing to its consumer by saying, if you use plastic on Wednesdays, you pay for it. And if you don't want to pay for it, might as well use your cloth bag, which is very good. In this way, we are little by little preparing for the future generation. Now, let me ask you about this waste management. Do you have any programs or opinions on how we can, I think there are companies now that are into waste management. How do you see these things?
Well, I'd like to go back to what you mentioned earlier before we ended the first segment, that it should involve everyone.
Yes.
So I may be just one person, a voice in the dark, but there are other voices like mine everywhere else. So one candle here, another candle there, we can brighten a dark corner of this section of society. And then we can influence a corporation or even government. So people can make change happen.
Okay.
So from all fronts, even what used to be insensitive multinational corporations are now catering to the clamor for healthy consumer items. And like you mentioned, this huge mall has now, of course, to adapt to change. We have the power to effect change by the very principle that we uphold, that we live by. We can effect change. So when it comes to waste management, we start with our own backyard, in our own houses. So we can try this, but there should be a support system also from the community type. So there can be segregation, there can be waste recycling, and even what is really doable, have a kind of bio-composts in your own backyard. Then what you produce as an organic fertilizer from the biodegradable wastes can now serve as the soil for your home garden. as many like-minded people become advocates of this wellness lifestyle, the ecology may be, the ecosystem may be saved, and the economy may have to adapt to this new philosophy, and government might as well also respond to it. But whoever is in the government is whoever the people put in there. So as we vote for our officers come election, if ever there will be an election, because you know what's going on, we must vote for somebody who really go for change, and change that is sustainable. So people now, because it's so popular, they say, I'm an ecologist, I'm for the environment. All of a sudden, so many people claim that I am an environmentalist because it's in vogue, it's fashionable. Like I said, yoga became very fashionable when at first it was an aberration. But now it's so much popular that indeed there are now consumer items for this. So even politicians mouth environmental slogans just to get the votes. That's how powerful ecology as a force has become.
Yes, okay. We agree to that. So as we proceed to our discussion, we would like to, of course, mention that we are currently discussing holistic wellness lifestyle, ecology, and economy, okay, and focusing on the person as an individual, part of nature, and then going out to the social world and to the economy. Okay, so we will be back in a few minutes. This is Zara Jane 1 for the Bears and Bulls. Stay tuned.